When the sea is tense, what cares these roarers for the name of king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not!
Good, yet remember whom thou hast abhorred.
None that I love more than myself. You are counselor. If you can command these elements to silence and work the peace of the present, we will not hear the rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot give thanks to have lived so long, then make yourself ready for the mischance of the hour, if it so happens. Cheerly, good heart! Out of our way, I say!
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fate, to his hanging. If he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable.
Down with the topmast! Yard! Lower! Lower! Bring her to dry with the main cord! Ah! A plague upon this howling! They are louder than the weather or our office!
A pox on your throat, you bawling, blasphemous and charitable dog! Hang her! Hang you! Poor son! Insolent noisemaker! We are less afraid to drown than thou art. I'll warn her for drowning, though the ship were no stronger than a nutshell and as leaky as an unstaunched wench.
Lay her a hold! A hold! Lay her off the sea again! Set her 2 courses off! Lay her off! All lost to prayers! To prayers! All lost! What? Must our mouths be cold?
The king and prince at prayers. Let us assist them for our cases as theirs. I am out of patience. We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. This wide-chopped rascal mayest thou die drowning the Washington 10 times! He'll be hanged yet, though every drop of water swear against it and Dave Edward to glut him. Let's all sink with the king! Take leave of him! Now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground. Long heath, brown furs, anything. The will's above be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
By your art, my dearest father, you have set the wild waters in this roar allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea mounting to the welkin's cheek dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had in her, no doubt, some noble creature dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed, and the frauding souls within her.
Be collected, no more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm! I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, or that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater father.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee farther. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. So, lie there, my heart. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort. The direful spectacle of the rat, which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have, with such provision in mine art, so safely ordered that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as an hair, be tid to any creature in the vessel, which thou heardst cry, which thou saw'st sink. Sit down, for thou must now know farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped, leaving me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hour's now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear, obey, and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any other house or person of anything the image tell me that hath kept with thy remembrance.
It is far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Thou hadst, and more, Miranda. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward and abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayst.
That I cannot.
12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since. Thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou wast my daughter. And thy father was the Duke of Milan, and his only heir and princess no worse issue.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was it that we did?
Both. Both, my dear girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved thence, but blessedly both hither.
Alack, my heart bleeds to think of the team that I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance.
My brother, thy uncle, called Antonio, I pray thee, mark me. That a brother could be so perfidious! He, whom next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state. As at that time through all the signories it was the first, and Prospero, the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity, and for the liberal arts without parallel. Those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedful.
Being once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance and who to trash for overtopping, new created the creatures that were mine, or changed them, or else new formed them, having both the key of officer and office set, all hearts in the state to what tune pleased his ear, that now he was the ivy which had hid my princely trunk, and sucked my verger out on't. Thou attend'st not.
Oh, good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to the closeness and bettering of my mind with that which, but by being so retired, o'erprized all popular rate, in my brother waked an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood in its contrary, as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit, a confidence sans bound. He, being thus lorded, not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact, like one who, having into truth by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory to credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke, out of the substitution, and executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative. Hence, his ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
To have no screen between the part he played and he played it for, he needs will be absolute Milan. Me, poor man. My library was dukedom large enough, of temporal royalties he thinks me now incapable. Confederate, so dry he was for sway, with the King of Naples, to do him tribute, give him homage, subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed, alas! Poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark his condition and the event. Then tell me if this be a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now the condition. This king of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu of the premises of homage, and I not know how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all the honors on my brother. Whereon a treacherous army levied, one midnight faded to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness the ministers for the purpose hurried thence me and thy crying self.
Alack, for pity! I, not remembering how I cried out then, will cry o'er again. It is a hint that brings mine eyes to it.
Here a little further, then I'll bring thee to the current business, which now suppose, without the which this story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well demanded, wench. My tale provokes that question. Dear, they durst not. So dear the love my people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on the business, but with colors fairer painted their foul ends. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark and bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a butt, not rigged, nor tackle, nor sail, nor mast. The very rats instinctively have quit it. And there they hoist us to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds whose pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
Oh, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast, that did preserve me. Thou didst smile, infuse it with a fortitude from heaven, while I have decked the sea with drops full salt, under my burden groaned, which raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had, and some fresh water. That a good Neapolitan, Gonzala, out of her charity, being then appointed master of this design, did give us, with rich garments, linens, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steaded much. So, of her charity, knowing I loved my books, she furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that woman.
Now I arise, sit still, and hear the last of our sea song. Here in this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princes can, who have indeed more time for vainer hours, and tutors not so careful.
Heavens, thank you for it. And now I pray you, for still 'tis beating in my mind. A reason for raising the sea storm.
No, thus far forth, by accident, most strange, bountiful fortune now, my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore. And I find that my zenith doth depend on a most auspicious star, whose influence, if I court not now but omit, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant! Come! I am ready now. Approach my Ariel! Come!
All hail, grave master! Grave sir, hail! I've come to answer thy best pleasure. Be to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on curled clouds, to thy strong bidding task, Ariel and all her qualities.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship. No in the beak, no in the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometimes I divided and burned in many places, the topmast, the yards, the bowsprit, but I flamed distinctly. Then meet and join. Jove's lightning, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary in sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that this coil could not infect his reason?
Not a soul but felt the fever of the mad, and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair up staring, more like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leapt, cried, "Hell is empty and all devils are here!"
Why, that's my spirit. But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badst me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son hath identified himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs, in this odd angle of the island, and sitting with his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbor is the king's ship, in the deep nook, where once thou called me at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermudes. There she's hid, the mariners all under hatches stowed, whom with a charm joined to their suffered labor have I left asleep. As for the rest of the fleet which I dispersed, they are upon the Mediterranean slope, bound sadly home from Naples, supposing that they saw their king's ship wrapped in his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season,
At least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which hast not yet performed me.
How now? Moody? What is thou canst demand?
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made no mistakings, served without grudge or grumblings. Thou did promise to bait me full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost, and thinkest it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with frost.
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing! Hast thou forgot the foul witch, Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Argia.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgettest. This damned witch, Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing, from Argiers thou knowest was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
Oh, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reports thyself, wast then her servant, and for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthly, and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests. She did confine thee, with the help of her more potent ministers, and in her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain 12 years, within which space she died, and left thee there, where thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island, save for the sun she did litter here, a freckled whelp, hag-born, not honored with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban, the son.
Dull thing I say so. He, that Caliban, whom now I keep in service. Thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl, and penetrate the breasts of ever-angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee
I
out.
thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak, and peg thee in his knotty entrails, till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be corresponded to command to do my spriting gently.
Do so. And after 2 days I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. Say what? What shall I do?
Go make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go, take this shape, and hither come in't. Go hence with diligence! Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story, what heaviness of me.
Shake it off. Come on, we'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answers.
Tis a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does fetch our wood, make our fire, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho, slave Caliban! Thou earth, thou, speak!
There's wood enough within.
Oh, come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise, when? Fine apparition, my quaint Ariel, hearken thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth!
This wicked doers ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fen, drop on you both! the southwest blow on you and blistered you all over.
For this, be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchins shall forth at vast of night that they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be as pinched, as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than the bees that made them.
I must eat my dinner. This island is mine! By Sycorax, my mother, which thou takest from me! When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and made much of me. Wouldst give me water with berries in't, and teach me how to aim the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle. The fresh springs, the brine pits, the barren place, and the fertile. Curse be I that did so! All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here, you stine me in this hard rock, whilst you do keep me from the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness. I have used thee, filth as thou art, with humane care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Ho, ho, oh, ho, would it had been done! Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Caliban.
Abhorrent slave, which any print of goodness wilt not take, being capable of all ill. I pity thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or another. When thou didst not, savage, know thine own meaning, I endowed thy purposes with words that made them known. But thy vile race, though thou didst learn, had that int which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore thou wast deservedly confined to this rock, who hast deserved more than just a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on't is I know how to curse. The red plague rig you for learning me your language.
Hagseed, hence! Fetch us in fuel, and be quick, thou art best to answer other business. Shruggest thou malice? If thou neglectest, or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar that beast should tremble at thy din.
No, pray me! I must obey. His art is of such power. It would control my dam's god, Setebos, and make a vassal of his.
So, slave, hence.
Where should this music be? In the air? Or the earth? Sounds no more. I'm sure it waits upon some god of the island. Sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wrack. This music crept by me upon the waters, allaying both its fury and my passion with its sweet air. Thence I have followed it, or rather it hath drawn me. 'tis gone.
Oh, Father, five, thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade. But dark suffer change into something rich and strange. Seen is hourly ring his knell. Hark now, I yield the ding dong bell.
This ditty does remember my dropped father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound the earth owes.
The fringed curtains of thine eye advance and say what thou seest yon.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No, wench, it eats and sleeps, and hath such senses as we have such. This gallant which thou seest was in the rack, and though he's something stained with grief, that's beauty's canker, you mightst call him a goodly person. He has lost his fellows and strays about to find him.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Ariel, I'll set thee free for this.
No, sure, the goddess on whom these airs attend! Vouchsafe my prayer, may know if you remain upon this island, and some good instruction you'll give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is, oh, you wonder if you be maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but suddenly a maid.
My language! Heavens! I'm the best that speak this speech words as spoken.
How? The best. What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing as I am now, that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes never since I never beheld the king my father racked.
Alack for pity!
Yes, faith in all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his brave son being twain.
The Duke of Milan and his more braver daughter could control thee if now 'twere fit to do it. At first sight they have exchanged eyes. Ariel, I'll set thee free for this. A word, good sir. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw. The first that e'er I sighed for. Pity move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin and your affections not gone forth, I'll make thee the queen of Naples.
Soft, sir. One word more. They are both in Ima's powers, but this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light a winning make the prize light. One word more, I charge thee that thou attend me.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit has so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell within.
Thou dost hear, usurp the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself on this island as a spy, to win it from me, the Lord Aunt.
No, as I am a man.
Speak not you for him. He's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brooked mussels, withered roots, and husks wherein the acorn cradled. Follow.
No, I will resist such entertainment until mine enemy has more power.
Too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What? I say, my foot, my tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, who makest a show but darest not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy ward, for I can here disarm thee with this stick and make thy weapon drop.
Oh, beseech you, father.
Hence, hang not on my garments.
Sir, have pity. I'll be his surety.
Silence! One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. What? An advocate for an impostor? Hush. Thou thinkest there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban. Foolish wench, to the most of men this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigor.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wrack of all my friends, nor this man's threats, to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day hold his fate. Let liberty make use of all else corners of the world. Space enough have I in such prisons.
It works. Come, follow. Ariel, thou hast done well. Follow me. Hark what else thou shalt do.
Sir, have comfort. My father's of a better nature than he appears by speech. This is unwanted which came from him now.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but do exactly as I command. Come, follow. Speak not for him.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy. For our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the master of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
Receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him orders, sir.
Oh, look, she's winding up the watch of her wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir.
One, tell.
When every grief is entertained that's offered comes to the entertainer.
$1.
Dolor comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you purpose.
You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord.
Why, what a spendthrift is she of her tongue.
I prithee, spare.
Well, I have done, but yet
She will be talking.
Which of she or Adrian, for a good wager, first begins to crow?
The old hen.
the cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
This island seems to be deserts, uninhabitable and most inaccessible. Yet,
He will not miss
it needs must be of subtle, tender, and most delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate way.
And subtle as you must learn to be.
The air breathes upon us most sweetly.
As if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Or else 'twere perfumed would I been.
Here is everything advantageous to life.
True. Save means to live.
Of that there's none, or little.
How lush and luscious the grass looks. How green.
Round indeed is tawny.
With an eye of green in it.
She misses not much.
No, she doth mistake the truth, totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouched rarities are.
that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold, notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
If but one of her pockets could speak, would it not say she lies?
I, or very falsely pocket of her report.
Methinks that our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Africa at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Clarabelle.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was an ever graceful for with such a paragon to their queen.
Not since Widow Dido's time.
Widow! Apart from that, how came that widow in? Widow Dido. What if he had said widow or Aeneas too? Good Lord, how you take
Widow Dido said you. You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
Her word is more than the miraculous heart.
She hath raised the wall and houses too.
What impossible matter will
She makes easy nets. I think she will take this island home in her pocket and trade it to her son for an apple.
and sowing kernels of it in the sea bring forth more islands? Aye. Why, in good time.
Sir, we were talking that our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first at your daughter's wedding, who is now queen. And the rarest air came from her. Bait, I beseech you, Widow Dido. Oh, Widow Dido. Hi, Widow Dido. Is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as the day I first wore it? I mean, in a sort. That sort was well fished. When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
You crammed these words into my ears against the stomach of my sense.
But I never married my daughter there. For coming thence my son is lost. In my rage she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I never again shall see her. O thou, mine heir of Naples and Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the surge most swollen that met him. His bold head bobbed the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with good arms unless she stroked to the shore, that o'er his wave-worn basis bowed, as stooping to relieve him. I not doubt he came nigh to land.
No. God.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss. Thou not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she at least is banished from your eye who have caused the wet on it.
Prithee, peace.
You were kneeled to and importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself weighed between loathness and obedience, at which end of the beam should bow. We have lost your son. I fear forever, but Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the lost.
My Lord Sebastian! The truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster. Very well.
And most chirurgeonly.
It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy. Foul weather, very foul. And if I had plantation of this isle, my lord, what would I do?
You'd sow it with nettle seed.
Or docks, or mallows. And we're queen on it. Escape being drunk for want of wine. In the Commonwealth, I would execute all things. By contraries, execute all things, for no kind of magistrate would I admit. Letters should not be known, riches, poverty, none. Contract, succession, born, bound of land, till vineyard none. No use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil. No occupation. All women idle. All. And men too, but innocent and pure. No sovereignty. Yet she would be queen on it.
The latter end of her commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavor. Treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine. Would I not have, but nature should bring forth of its own kind, all poison, all abundance to feed my innocent people.
No marrying among her subjects?
None, man. All idle. Whores and nymphs.
I would, with such perfection, govern. Sir, to excel the Golden Age. Oh, save her majesty.
Long live Gonzala.
And do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more.
Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe, your highness. And I did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they used to laugh at nothing. 'Twas you we laughed at. In this kind of merry fooling and nothing to you. So you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given!
And it had not fallen flat long. You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue it in 5 weeks without changing.
We would so, and then we would go a bat pattern.
Nay, my good lady, if you're not angry. No! I warned you. I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. You laugh me asleep? I'm very heavy. Go! Sleep and hear us.
What, so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would, to shut up my own thoughts.
I feel they're inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit that heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow, and when it does, it is a great comfort.
We too, my lord, will guard your person as you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them. It is a quality of the climate. Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as if by consent. They dropped as if by a thunderstroke.
What might, worthy Sebastian? Oh, what might?
No more. And yet, methinks I see it on thy face what thou shouldest be. The occasion speaks of thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is a sleepy language. This is a strange repose, to be standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep. Die rather.
Weakest whilst thou art waking, thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snore.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too, if he me which do so travels the oar.
I'm standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so. To ebb hereditary sloth instructs.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish, while thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more so invest it. Ebbing men do so near the bottom, run by their own fear or sloth.
The setting of thine eye and cheek doth proclaim a birth to thee which is much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lady of weak remembrance, who shall be of as little memory when she is earth, hath here almost persuaded, for she's a spirit of persuasion, professes only to persuade the king his sons alive. 'Tis as impossible that he is undrowned as he who sleeps here swims.
I have no hope he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that way is another way, so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond. But doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Clarabelle.
She that is queen of Tunis? She that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life? She that from whom we all were sea swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act whereof what's past is prologue. What to come, in yours and my discharge.
What is this? How say you? 'Tis true my brother's daughter is queen of Tunis, and as she is heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Clarabelle measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis and let Sebastian wake. Say this word, death that now hath seized them, why they were no better than now they are. There be that can rule as well as he that sleeps, lords that print as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzala. I myself can make a chop of as deep chapped. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do! What a sleep were this for your advancement! Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does this content tender your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True, and look at how well my garments sit upon me, much feeder than before. My brother's servants were once my fellows. Now they are my men.
But for your conscience?
Aye, sir. Where lies that? It were a cat would put me to my slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences stand twixt me and Milan. Candy be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he's like, that's dead, whom I with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever. Whilst you doing thus to this perpetual wink of eye, this lady prudence who should not upbraid our horse. For all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll read the clock to any business we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou broughtest Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword, and one stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzala.
Over one word.
My master through his art foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth for else his project dies to keep them living. If you're here to snore, open I conspiracy his time doth take. If of life you keep of care, shake of slumber and beware. Awake, awake!
Then let us both be sudden.
Now, good angels preserve the king.
What so? Awake. Why are you drawn?
Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
While we stood here, securing your repose, we heard a bellowing much like bulls, or rather lions. Did it not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear, to make an earthquake. Sure it was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzala?
Upon mine honor, sir, I heard a humming, and a strange one too, which did awake me. As mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place.
Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this round, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heavens, keep these beasts from him, for he is sure in the island.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
Infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats. On Prospero fall and make him by inch meal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll nor pinch, fright me with urgent shows, pitch me in the mire, nor leave me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way unless he bid him. But for every trifle are they set upon me, sometimes like apes that mow and chatter at me, and after bite me. Then like hedgehogs that lie tumbling in my barefoot way and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometime am I all wound with adders, who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Lo now, lo, here comes a spirit of his. Oh, and to torment me for bringing in the wood slowly. I fall flat. Perchance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. And another storm brewing. I hear it sing in the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one. Looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. Yeah! Such a thunder as the day before. I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but to fall by hail. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. Smells like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell. A kind of monotonous port. Were I in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there would give but a piece of silver. There would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. When they will not give out doi to a legal lame beggar, they will lay out 10 to see a dead Indian. Leg like a man. And his fins like arms. Warm. Oh my troth! I do now let loose my opinion. Hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that had been struck by a thunderbolt. Alas, the storm has come again. Oh, my best way is to creep under his gabardine, for there is no other shelter hereabout. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud the dregs of the storm be past.
I shall no more to see. Here shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. Master of the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, loved them all, Meg, Mary, and then Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, go hang. She loved not the savor of tar nor pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her where'er she did it, than to see boys and let her go hang. This is a very scurvy tune too, but here's my comfort.
Do not torment me!
What's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon us with savages and men of Ind? Ha! I have not escaped drowning to be afeard of your 4 legs. For it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground. And it shall be said so again while Stefano breathes at his nostrils.
The spirit torments me. Ow! Ow!
This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs who has got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief if it be but for that. If I can recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor that ever trod on these leather.
Do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
He is fit now. Let's not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If you have never drink wine afore, 'twill go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I shall not take too much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Oh, thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling. Now Prospero works upon thee.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here's that which will give language to you, man. Open your mouth. This shake your shakings, I can tell you, and that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Come, open your chops again.
I should know that voice. It should be but he is drowned and these are devils both offended.
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. The forward voice now is to speak well of its friend. The backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come. Amen. I will pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano! If thou beest Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo, thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. Huh. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are Oh, very Trinculo indeed! How camest thou to be the seed to this mooncalf? Shall you venge Trinculos?
I took him to be killed by a thunderstruck. But art thou now drowned, Stefano? I do hope thou art not drowned. Is the storm overflown? I hid me under this mooncalf's gabardine for fear of the storm. And art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano! Look at your politics!
Oh, really? Do not throw me about. My stomach is not
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites, that's a brave god who bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How camest thou hither? How didst thou escape? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack which the sailors heaved overboard. By this bottle which I made of the bark of the tree since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear by that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear how then thou escapest.
Swim ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made of this.
Oh, Stefano, hast any more of this?
The whole block, man. My cellar's in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. Now, mooncalf, how does thy ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was a man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book. I'll furnish it anon with new contents. Swear.
By this good Lord. This is a very shallow monster. I am feared of him. A very weak monster. A man in the moon. A most poor credulous monster. A well-drawn monster in good suit.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I'll kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
By this light, most perfidious monster. When God's asleep, he'll rob his body.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on then. Down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster. The most scurvy monster I can find it in my heart to beat.
Come, kiss.
But that the monster's a drink. An abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
Most ridiculous monster. To make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I, with my long nails, will dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scandals from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee lead the way without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle, fellow Trinculo. We'll fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master, farewell, farewell.
Howling monster, a drunken monster.
Freedom, high day, freedom, freedom, high day, freedom.
There be some sports are painful, and their labor delight in them sets on. Some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This, my mean task, would weigh as heavy as odious. But the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove and pile up some thousands of these logs upon a sore injunction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. I forget. But these sweet thoughts do refresh my labors. Most busy, only do.
Alas, now pray you, work not so hard. I would that the lightning had burnt up the logs that you were enjoined to pile. Pray set them down and rest yourself. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at studying. Pray rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
No, sweet mistress. The sun will set before I shall discharge what I strive to do.
If you'll sit, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature. I'd rather crack my sinews and break my back than such dishonor you undergo while I sit lazy by.
But it would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with more ease, for my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor worm, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
No, noble mistress. 'Tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayer. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I've broken your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration, what's most dearest to the world. Full many a lady I have eyed, and many of the time the harmony of their tongue hath brought into bondage my too diligent ear. For several virtues I have liked several women, but none so full of soul but some defect in her to quarrel with the noblest gratiode and put it to the full. But you, oh you, so perfect, so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remember, save from my glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad, I am skilless in that. But all my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would wish no other companion in the world but you. Nor can imagination form a shape besides you to like her. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I daren't to forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so. And would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh by blow my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant I laid eyes on you, did my heart fly to your service, and there resides to make me slave to you. And it is for your sake I am his patient lover.
You love me.
Oh heaven, oh earth, bear witness to this sound and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true. If hollowly invert what has best voted me to mischief. I do above all else of what in the world, love, prize, and honor.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heavens rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
Mine own unworthiness. I dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. This is trifling, and all the more it seeks to hide itself the bigger bulk it shows. Hence bashful cunning, and prompts me holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I will be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband then.
I, with a heart as willing to freedom, heir to bondage. Here's my hand.
And mine with my heart bent. And now farewell, till I have hours.
1,000.
So glad of this as they I cannot be, who are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet ere supper time I must perform much business appertaining.
Tell not me when the butt is out we will drink bar, not a drop before. Therefore bear up in boredom. Servant monster, drink me.
Servant monster? The folly of this island. They say there are but 5 upon this isle. We be 3 of them. If the other 2 be brain like us, the state otters.
Drink to me, servant monster, when I bid thee. Thy eyes are almost set in thy head.
Where should they be set else? They were a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
My man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam ere I could recover the shore 5 and 30 leagues off and on by this light. Thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard.
Your lieutenant, if you list, he's no standard.
Will not run, monsieur monster.
Nor go neither, but you'll lie like dogs and say nothing.
Mooncalf, speak once in thy life if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him, he's not valiant.
Honest, most ignorant monster, I'm encased at Justo at Constant. Why thou couch fish thou? Was there ever man a coward that had drank so much sack as I today? Won't thou tell a monstrous lie being but half a fish and half a monster?
No, how he mocks me! Wilt thou let him, my lord?
My lord, quoth he, that a monster would be such a gnat.
No, no again! Fight him to death, I prithee!
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in thy head. If you prove a mutineer at the next tree, poor monster's my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry, will I kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Trinculo.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie!
Trinculo, trouble him any more in his tail, and by this hand I will supplant some of your teeth.
Why, I said nothing.
Mum then, and no more. Proceed.
I say by sorcery he got this isle. From me he got it. If thy greatness will, revenge it on him. For I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Can thou bring me to the party?
Yea, yea, my lord. I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayest knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest. Thou canst not.
What a pipe is this, thou scurvy patch! I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows, and take his bottle from him. When that's gone, he'll drink naught but brine, for I'll not show him where the quick freshes are.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and I'll turn my mercy outdoors and make a stockfish of thee.
What did I said nothing.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest.
Do I so? Ha! Take that! Like this, give me the lie another time!
I did not give the lie. How are your wits, and hearing too? A pox to your body. Rain on your monster, and the devil take your fingers.
Now forward with your tail. Prithee, stand farther off.
Beat him enough. After a little time, I'll beat him too.
Prithee, stand farther. Come, proceed.
Why, as I told thee, it is a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayest brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or punch him with a stick, or cut his weazen with thy knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he's but as sot as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They all do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books. He has brave utensils, for so he calls them, which when he has a house he'll deck withal. And that, most deeply to consider, is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her nonpareil. I never saw a woman but only Sycorax, my dam, and she, as far surpasseth Sycorax, as greatest as least.
Is it so, brave a lass?
Aye, my lord, she will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I will be king and queen, save our graces. And Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Docile like the plot, Trinculo.
Excellent.
Give me thy hand. I am sorry I beat thee. But while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour will he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honor.
This will I tell my master.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jockeys. Will you troll the catch you taught me but whiler?
At thy request, monster, I will do reason. Any reason come, Trinculo, let us sing. Flout them and scout them and flout them and scout them. Thought is free.
That's not the tune.
What does this say?
This is the tune of our past, played by the picture of Milford.
If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest a devil, take it as thou list.
Forgive my sins!
He that dies pays all debts. I defy thee. Mercy upon us!
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, not I.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight, and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about my ears. Sometimes voices that, if I then had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again. And then in dreaming, the clouds methought would open, and show riches ready to drop upon me that, when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed.
That shall be by and by. I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Let's follow it and after your work.
Please, monster. We'll follow. I would I could see this tableau. He lays it on. Wilt come?
I'll follow, Stefano.
By our Lakin, sir, I can go no further. My old bones aches. Here's a maze trot indeed, through forthright and meanders. By your patience, I needs must rest me.
Lord, I cannot blame thee, for myself attached with weariness and delay in my spirits. Sit down and rest. Here I will keep off my hope, and keep it no longer for my flattery. He is drowned, whom thus we strait to find. And the sea mocks our frustrate on land. Well, let him go.
I'm right glad he is so out of hope. Do not, for one repulse, forego the purpose that you resolved to effect. The next advantage we will take rudely. Let it be tonight, for now they are pressed with travel. They will not nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh. I say tonight, no more.
What melody is this? My good friend's harp.
Harp of this sweet music.
Give us kind keepers, heavens! What were these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, one phoenix on the hour at this hour, reigning there. I'll believe both. And what else want credit? Come to me and I'll swear 'tis true. Travelers ne'er did lie. Go full of that long pillow.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders, for certes these are people of the island, who, though they are of monstrous shape, yet note their manners are more gentle, kind than those of our own generation. You shall find many, nay, almost any.
Honest lady, thou hast said well, for some of you there present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse. Such shape, such gesture, such sound, expressing, although they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse.
Praise in departing.
They vanish strangely. No matter. For they have left their viands and we have stomachs. Please you taste what is here?
Not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear. When we were children, who would believe that there were mountaineers dewlapped like bulls, whose throats had hanging at them wallets of flesh? Or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breasts, which now we find, each putter outer of 5, one will bring us good water.
I will stand to and feed. Although my last I need not fear, since I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord the Duke stands to, and do as we.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world in what is in. The never surfeited sea hath caused to belch up you. And on this island where man doth not inhabit, you amongst men being most unfit to live. I have made you mad, and even with such like valor men hang and drown their proper selves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements of whom your swords are tempered may as well wound the loud winds, or with bemocked at stabs kill the still closing waters, as diminish one dowel that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strength, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you 3 from Milan did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea which hath requited him and his innocent child, for which foul deeds the powers delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores. Yea, all creatures against your peace. Be of thy son, Alonso. They have bereft, and do pronounce by me lingering perdition worse than any death can be at once. Shall step by step attend you in your ways, whose wraths to guard you from. And here, in this most desolate isle, else falls upon your heads is nothing but heart sorrow and clear light ensuing.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Mary. A grace it hath, devouring. Of my instruction thou hadst nothing bated in what thou hadst to say. So, with good life and observation strange, these my meaner ministers their several kinds have done. And these mine enemies are all knit up in their distractions. And in these fits I leave them, while I visit young Ferdinand, whom they supposed is drowned, and his and mine loved darling.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous, monstrous! Me thy billows spoken to me and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me. That deep and dreadful pipe organ did pronounce the name Prosper. Debase my trespass. Therefore my son in the ooze is mudded, and I'll seek him deeper than e'er plummet sounded, and with him lie there, mudded.
One fiend at a time, I'll fight their legions over.
Oh, be thy second. All 3 of them are desperate. Their great guilt given to work a great time after now begins to bite the spirits. I do beseech you, that are of supple joints, follow them swiftly and hinder them to the ecstasy that may now provoke them to.
Follow, I pray you.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. For I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live. Who once again I tender to thy hand. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Here afore heaven I ratify this, my rich gift. O Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast of her. You shall find that she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it against an oracle.
Then is my gift and thine own acquisition worthily purchased. Take my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot, before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow, but barren hate. Sour-eyed disdain and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed, so loathly that you shall hate it both. Therefore take heed, as Hymen's lamps shall light you.
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue and long life with such love as this now, the murkiest den, the most opportune place, the greater genius or worser suggestion, shall never melt mine honor into lust, and take away the edge of that day's celebration, when I shall think Phoebus' deeds are founded, or the night kept chained below.
Fairly spoke. Sit then, and talk with her. She is thine own. What? Ariel, my industrious servant! Erin.
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Thy and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go, bring the rabble, o'er whom I give thee power here to this place. Incite them to quit motion. I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently?
I, with a twink.
Before you can say, come and go, and breathe twice and say so, each one tripping on his toe, shall be here with mop and mow. Do you love me, master? No?
Dearly, my delicate Erin, do not approach till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I conceive.
Look thou be true! Do not give dalliance too much the rein. The strongest oaks are straw to the fire i' the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
I warrant you, sir. The cold snow-white virgin of my heart abates the ardor of my liver.
Well. Come, Ariel, bring a corollary rather than want a spirit. Appear and pertly. No tongue, all eyes. Be silent.
Ceres, most bounteous lady, thy rich lees of wheat, rye, barley, fetchest oats, and peas. Thy turfy mountains were lid nimbling sheep, and flat meads thatched with stover them to keep. Thy banks poined and tooled with brims, which at spongy April thy Hespe trins to make cold nymphs chase crowns. And thy broom groves, who shadowed the dismissed bachelor loves being last lord, and thy sea marge, sterile and rocky hard, where thou self dost err, the queen of the sky, whose watery arch and messenger am I. Bid thee leave these, and with her sovereign grace, here on this grass plot, in this very place, to come and sport, her peacocks fly amain, approach rich Ceres, her to entertain.
Hail, many-colored messenger, that ne'er dost disobey the wife of Jupiter, who with thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffusest honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres and my unshrubed down, rich scarf to my proud earth. Why hast thy queen summoned me hither to this short grass green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and some donation for you to estate on the blessed lovers.
Tell me, heavenly bow, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen.
since they did plot the means that dusky dis my daughter got. Her and her blind boy's company
Of
I
her
will
society
forsworn.
be not afraid. I met her deity cutting the clouds towards Popos, and her son dove drawn with her. Here thought they to have done some wanton charm upon this man and maid, whose vows that no bed bright shall be paid till Hymen's torch be lighted. But in vain, Mars' hot minion is returned again. Her wash-besetted son has broke at all his arrows, says he will shoot no more but play with sparrows and be a boy brought out.
Pious Queen of State, great Djuna comes. I know her by her gait.
How do my bounteous sisters? Go with me to bless this twain, that they may prosperously and honor their mission. Honor riches, marriage, blessing, long continuance, and increasing early joys be still upon you. Djuna sings her blessings on earth increase, boys and plenty, boys and gardeners never empty, vital clustering bushes growing, plants with good burn and go. Spring come to you with a harvest in the very edge of the harvest. And one shall shine you, Ceres sings her blessings upon you.
This is a most majestic vision and harmonious charmingly. May I be bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which by my art I have called from their confines to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever. Such a rare and wondered father makes this place paradise.
Sweet now, silence. Juno and Ceres whisper seriously. There's something else to do. Hush and be mute, or else our spell is marred.
You nymphs called naiads of windering brooks, whose sedged crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels and on this green land answer your summons. Juno does command. Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late.
I had forgot the foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban against my life. The very minute of their plot is almost come. Well done, avoid no more!
Your father seems a passion that works him strongly.
Never till this day saw I him touched with anger, so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful. Our revels now are ended, and these, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit, shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made of, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Oh, sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My old brain is troubled. Be not you disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire to my cell and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish your peace.
Yeah. But come with a thought, my Ariel, come!
Thy thoughts I cleave to, what's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
I, my commander, when I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee of it, but I feared lest I might anger thee.
Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smote the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing at their feet, yet always bending toward their project. And then I beat my tabor, at which, like unbacked colts, they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses as they smelt the music. And so I charmed their ears, which calf-like they my lowing followed through, toothed briars, sharp furs of pricking gorse and thorns which entered their frail shins. At last I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins of the foul lake or stunk their feet.
This was well done, my bird. The trumpery in my house. Bring it hither for stale to catch these thieves.
I go.
A devil, a born devil, on whose nature nurture can never stick, on whom my pains humanely taken, all lost, quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I shall plague them all, even to roaring. Come, hang them on this line.
Tread softly that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We are near his sound.
Monster, your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done little better than play the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell horse piss. At which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Do you hear, monster? I should take a displeasure against you, look you.
Thou wert a lost monster.
Good my lord, give me thy favor still. Be patient, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore, speak softly. All's hushed as midnight yet.
But to lose our bottles in the pool.
There's not only disgrace and dishonor in that, monster, but an infinite loss.
That's more to me than my wetting. Yet this is just your harmless fairy, monster.
I will fetch off my bottle, though I be o'er ears for my labor.
Good my lord, give me thy thing. Just, prithee my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? This is the mouth of the sea. No noise, and enter. Do that good mischief which may make this island thine own forever. And I thy Caliban, for I thy footlicker.
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stefano, up here. Look what a wardrobe is here for thee.
Let it alone now, fool, it is but trash.
A hoe, monster, we know it belongs to a frippery. Oh, King Stefano.
Put that off that gown, Trinculo. By this hand, I'll have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it.
Dropsy, drown this fool! What do you mean to dote us on such luggage? Let it alone and do the murder first. If he awake, from toad to crown, he'll fill our skins with pinches, make us strange stuff.
Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Line, is not this my jerkin? Now the jerkin is under the line. Now, jerkin, you are like to lose your hair and prove a bald jerkin.
Steal by line and level, and it like your grace.
I thank thee for that jest. 'Tis a garment for it, which shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steal by line and level is an excellent pass of hate. Here's another garment for it.
Monster, put some lime upon your fingers, and away with the rest.
I will have none on't. We shall lose our time, and be turned to barnacles, or to apes with foreheads villainous low.
Monster, lay to your fingers and help to bear this away where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to, carry this.
And this.
Aye, and this.
And this.
Hey, Mountain, hey!
Silver! There it goes, Silver!
Fury, fury, there, fire, there! Mark, mark! Go! Charge these goblins that they blind and try to find you all! Shorten up their sinews with aged crabs, and more pink-spotted make them than pard or cat-a-mountain. At this hour lies at my mercy all my enemies, and shortly shall all my labors end. For a little, follow and do me service.
Hark they roar.
Thou shalt have the air at freedom. At this hour lies at my mercy all my enemies. My project gathers to a head, my charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so when first I raised the Tempest. Say, spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together in the same fashion as you gave in charge.
just as you left them, all prisoners, sir, in the line grove which weather fends yourself. They cannot budge till your release. The king, his brother, and yours abide, all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them. Brimful of sorrow and dismay, but chiefly heard that you turned, sir. The good old lady Gonzala, her tears run down her cheeks like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly works them, that if you now beheld, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
And mine shall. Hast thou, which art but pale, a touch, a feeling of their afflictions, and not myself, one of their own kind, who relish all as sharply passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? Yet with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick. But with my nobler reason, 'gainst my fury do I take part. The nobler action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go, release them, Erin. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
You elves of hills, standing lakes and groves, and you that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly him when he comes back. You demi-puppets, that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the yew not bites, and you whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms, who rejoice to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though you be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous waves, and twixt the green sea and azure vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong-based promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped, and led them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure. And when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it some fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. A solemn air, and the best comforter for an unsettled fancy. Cure thy brains, now useless, boiled in thy skull. There stand, for you are spell-stopped. Holy Gonzala, honorable mistress, mine eyes, e'en sociable to the show of thine, fall fellowly drops. The charm dissolves apace, and as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness, so their rising senses begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clearer reason. Good Gonzala, my true preserver, and a loyal friend to him thou followest, I'll pay thy graces home, both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act. Thou art pinched for it now, Sebastian. brother mine, who entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, whom with Sebastian, whose inward pinches therefore are most strong, would here have killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell, and as the approaching tide will shortly fill the reasonable shore that now lies foul and muddy. Not one of them that yet looks on me, or would know me. Ariel, fetch me the rapier in my cell. I will discase myself as I was some time along. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free. That's my dainty Erin. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have freedom. To the king's ship, invisible as thou art, there shalt thou find the mariners asleep under the hatches, the master and the boatswain being awake. Enforce them to this place, and presently, I prithee.
I drink the air before me, and return our air. Your pulse twice beat. All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. For more assurance that a living prince does now speak to thee, I embrace thy body. And to thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
Whether thou beest he or no, or some enchanted trifle of the island sent to abuse me as late I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since last I saw thee, I fear the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear a madness hath held me. This must crave, and if it be at all a most strange story, thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat you pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle that will not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friends, all, but you, my brace of lords. Were I so minded, I here could pluck his highness' frown upon you and justify you traitors. At this time I will tell no tales.
Devil speaks in
No! For you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth. I do forgive thy rankest faults, all of them, and do require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation. How thou hast met us here, whom 3 hours since were racked upon this shore, where I have lost. How sharp the point of this remembrance is. My dear son Ferdinand.
I am woeful.
Irreparable is the loss, and patience as its past or cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help, whose soft grace for the like loss I have her sovereign aid and rest myself content.
You the like loss?
As great to me as late, and supportable to make the dear loss of I means much weaker than you may call to comfort you, for I have lost my daughter.
Daughter? But they were both in Naples, king and queen there that they were. I wish myself were mudded in that oozy bed where my son lies. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest. I do perceive these lords at this encounter do so much admire that they devour their reason, and scarce think their eyes do offices of truth, their words are natural breath. But howsoe'er you have been justled from your senses, know for certain that I am Prospero, and that very duke which was thrust forth of Milan, who most strangely on this island where you were racked, was landed to be the lord on't. But no more yet of this, for 'tis a chronicle of day by day, not a relation for breakfast, or befitting this first meeting. Welcome, sir. This cell's my court. Here have I few attendants and subjects none abroad. Pray you, look in. My dukedom, since you have given me again, I will requite you with as good a thing. At least bring forth a wonder to content you as much as me, my dukedom.
Oh, my sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should rank one, I would call it fair play.
Just prove a vision of the isle, one dear son shall I twice lose.
A most high miracle.
Though the seas have threatened, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Now all the blessings of a glad father encompass thee about. Arise and say how thou camest here.
Oh, wonder. How many goodly people are there here? Oh, brave new world that has such creatures in it.
'Tis new to thee.
Who is this maiden thou wast to play? Your earliest acquaintance cannot be but 3 hours. Is she the goddess that hath separated us and brought us thus back together?
Sir, she's mortal, but by mortal providence, she's mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is the daughter to the famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I've heard renowned but never saw before, of whom I've received a second life and a second father. This lady makes him to me.
Well, I am hers. But how oddly will it sound that I must ask my child forgiveness?
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrances with a heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept, or should have spoke ere this. Look down, you gods, and on this couple drop a blessed crown. For it is you that chalked forth the way which brought us hither.
I say amen, Gonzala.
Was Milan thrust from Milan, that his issue should become kings of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond a common joy, and set it down with gold on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel her husband bind at Tunis, and Ferdinand, her brother, found a wife where he himself was lost. Prospero, his dukedom in a poor isle, and all of us, ourselves, where no man was his own.
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow embrace his heart who doth not wish thee joy.
Be it so! Amen! Oh! Look, sir! Look, sir, here are more of us! I prophesied that if a gallows were not on land, this fellow could not drown. Now, blasphemy that swears grace overboard, hast thou no oath on shore? Hast thou no mouth on land? What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave our split, is tight and yarn, bravely rigged as when we first put it out to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I left.
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events, which strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how thou camest here?
If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I'd strive to tell you. We were dead of sleep, and how we know not all clapped under hatches, where but even now we heard strange and several noises of roaring, shrieking, howling, jingling of chains, and more diversity of sounds, all horrible. We were awakened, straightway at liberty, where we in all her trim freshly beheld our royal good and gallant ship, our master capering to eye her. On a trice, so please you, even then were we divided from them and brought both together.
Was it well done?
Bravely, my diligence.
This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod, and in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with beating over the strangeness of this business. At picked leisure, which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve you of all every these happened accidents, which shall be shortly. Till then, be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Come, spirit. set Caliban and his confederates free. Untie the spell. How fares my gracious sir? There are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not.
Every man shoot for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself. For all's good fortune. Coraggio, bully monster, coraggio!
These be true spies which I wear on my head. Here's a goodly sight.
Oh, Septivos. These be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is. I'm afraid he will chastise me.
What things are these, my lord Antonio? Will money buy 'em? Very like. One of them is a plain fish and is no doubt marketable.
But the badges of these men, my lords, then say if they be true. This misshapen maid, his mother was a witch, and one so powerful that she could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, and deal in her command without her power. These three have robbed me. And this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, had plotted with them to take my life. Two of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness I know it is mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is this not Stefano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now. Where had he wine?
And Trinculo is reeling ripe. Where should they find this grand liquor? Say, how thou camest in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I last saw thee that I fear me will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly blowing.
Why, how now, Stefano?
Touch me not. I am not Stefano, but a crab.
You'd the king of the isle, Sirrah?
I should have been a sore one then.
This is as strange a thing as e'er I seen.
He is as disproportionate in his manners as in his shape. Go, Sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions. As you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will. And I'll be wise hereafter, and seek for grace. What a thrice-doubled ass was I to take this drunkard for a god, and worship this dumb fool.
Go to, away.
Hence and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night. Which part of it I'll waste with such discourse as I not doubt will make it go quick away. The story of my life, and the particular accidents gone by since I came unto this cell. And then in the morning I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I hope to see the nuptials of these our dear beloved Solomons. And thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise calm seas, auspicious gales, and sail so expeditious you shall catch your royal fleet far off. Ariel, chick, that is thy charge. Then to the elements be free, and fare thou well. Pray you, draw near. Now my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true that I must be here confined by you or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, dare dwell in this bare island by your spell. But release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. My sails your gentle breaths must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair. Unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. as you from crimes would pardoned be. Let your indulgence set me free.